Several days ago, Mary and I completed a video called On the Road Again. It was taken up in Litchfield, Connecticut before we headed back down to our summer working area down in Pigeon Forge. Right now I'm at Patriot Park in Pigeon Forge, and I want to explain the two videos that you're going to be seeing. The first one is you know, like I said in many of our videos, we put on probably 50 or 60,000 miles onto our trailer in the last 2.5 years. And with the roads being as rough as they are, my first video is on the different type of damages I incurred as I was driving around the country. And most of them, in fact almost all of them, were road related as far as potholes, that kind of stuff. Then Mary's going to do a quick video on what we do to get the trailer ready, you know, the steps we take, anticipating of the bumpy roads that we're going to be running into, bungee cords, that kind of stuff. So between the two of them, we're going to try and give you an idea of the damage we've done, what we've had to do to repair it, and basically to take everything in good strides, because with the roads nowadays, you will get damage. You just got to recover and make the best of it. This is Hughes from Outdoor Staycation. Look at the two videos, give us a thumbs up, or ring the bell. I'll be talking to you in a few days on some videos on Pigeon Forge area. Well, it's moving day. We've been in Connecticut now just about 2 weeks, and surprisingly enough, it's rained every day we've been here. I wanted to do more work on the trailer and the truck, but in the mud and the rain, it just wasn't possible. So the day we're leaving, gorgeous, sunny, what can I say? We're on the road, we're heading down to Pennsylvania, Amish country. We're gonna see Steve Turtle, and if I can kind of narrate him, we'll have his link at the bottom. That being said, getting ready to go, the first thing I've done is, of course, is check your tire pressures. I keep mine set at 65 on this particular trip because, as I said in my previous videos, going through Pennsylvania and New York is very bumpy, and I want to keep as much vibration off the trailer as I can, so it's a little on the soft side at 65, but it's what it is. I've also taken care to grease the pad, the horse collar on my hitch. I do that occasionally. It does keep the wearing of the plates from really deteriorating and tearing itself up. What I'm going to do now is take up the back hitches, back the truck in, and see you in a minute. So if you saw my video, how to hook up a fifth wheel, I pretty much did it basically the same way. I use my two tools for the rear jack, but before I did that, I always hook up the truck, bring your front jacks up. It actually turns the nose of your fifth wheel down, which raises your rear jacks off the ground, so when you use the socket and the wrenches, it's relatively easy because it's off the ground. The only thing I did differently this time than I've said before is I usually leave the 30 amp breakers on and the trailer hooked up. So I'm using the Campground's electric to use the slides and to lift the trailer up instead of the internal batteries. But when I'm mooch docking at my daughter's, I only have a 15 amp outlet, and I'm not sure what the amperage that these motors pull, but I'm sure it's close to 15 amps, so I don't want to risk damaging her wiring or melting my cords. Now we're going to go inside. Now that we're moved inside, I want to go over some of the damages we've received in this unit over the past 2 years. Like I said, we put about 25,000 miles a year on it, and across roads of, and I'm going to say Pennsylvania, New York, and even Ohio, you hit some mammoth potholes, you know, moon-sized potholes, craters, ravines. Through Pennsylvania this time, there's a lot of construction, so we're going to end up having to go on the shoulder quite a bit, where they widen the road, move you over. That being said, some of the damage we've received over time is, I want to introduce you to our new house guest. It was a tree, orange tree, when we were down in Orlando that my kids gave to me when they were younger. And I thought I had talked my daughter into keeping it, but she snuck it in while I wasn't looking and said, "It's yours, Dad, you're taking it with you." So I'm heading to Tennessee today with a orange tree that has never produced an orange. Some of the areas of damage we received over a period of time, and it has to do with construction. I hate to say it, but when these things are put together, they're put together to make it look nice, not necessarily for usage. First trip I went down to Kentucky, in this particular cabinet, you see, I don't know if you can see it at this point, but I'm going to shine the camera down. I have crock pots, I have cooking pots, so on and so forth. So I get to Kentucky, and lo and behold, what happens? The whole shelf collapsed down onto the furnace. Now, why they do that? Because when they put the shelf in, they're in staples this way, staple this way, but no supporting rails or bars underneath the shelving itself. So what I had to do is take everything out. Luckily, the furnace was out for repair, so I braced it up from underneath. Now I can put crock pots and so on and so forth and not have to worry about it. Second trip, you see I have two drawers, these pull out, and a shelf. Same thing happens. Second trip, I found all of my canned goods and bottled goods sitting on the bottom shelf because every single one of these drawers ripped on through. Again, no supports underneath. All I ended up doing is taking a vise, gluing supports on both sides, some good Gorilla Glue, and I haven't had any serious trouble since. An area of concern I still have is up in these particular shelves. You'll see I try and keep, we replace all our dishes with Corelware. It's lighter. This particular shelf, you see the size has been built the same way as all the rest, just staples in the side. I'm continually watching and being careful because this has a potential, along with the one over here, of collapsing through on some of these rough roads. Bathroom door. That same trip through Ohio where I blew out one of my 4 tires on my RV. I ripped this shower door, which you see is glass, off. Hit this wall, put a good gouge in it, but basically broke the 2 screws, one there, one at the bottom. Sheared them right in half. Again, another repair due to rough roads in this case, Ohio. Next repair job. As you can see, we had to replace our wheel well covers. The front tire is the one that blew in Ohio. When it blew it, it took out the cover in itself, sheared it, also sheared the underlayment on the underside. I was able to buy insulation, re-insulate it, and with Gorilla Tape again, I seem to be a fan of Gorilla Glue and Gorilla Tape. I retaped it all up underneath, so now that is good to go. And not to be left out, this tire wheel well cover is somewhere in North Dakota. I saw that thing fly off as I was doing about 65. I only do between 62 and 65, but we got hit with a side wind, a gust of about 60 miles an hour. Ripped it right off the trailer. It's in a median somewhere in North Dakota. Molding, Wyoming. We were going through Wyoming, the same 60 mile an hour, 65 mile an hour crosswinds. Stripped all the molding off the side. It was old. This happens to be a vinyl. Vinyl does not only crack but shrink over a period of time. Luckily, you can buy it by the roll and replace it. So I've had to replace a lot of this. What I'm basically saying is when you're traveling full time and you're doing a lot, you got to expect a lot of damage to your unit. You got to be prepared to repair it, fix it. One trip I didn't mention, I was going up to the beet harvest. I sheared a pin off on the 5th wheel. That had to be repaired. I had a tree branch go through the ceiling dome, plastic dome over my shower. Again, that was repaired in North Dakota at the beet harvest. So it's not a complaint. It's just saying that you got to be prepared for it. You got to keep some money in reserve, which is one of the reasons we went down to Texas to get some reserve money to prepare for these eventualities. We have broken down 3 times on the road so far. The first one was a serpentine belt, which took out my rear truck door, liftgate door. Apparently it's tied into the brakes, which is tied into the serpentine belt. I learned that one quickly. So that had to been replaced. On the plus side, I just replaced it with a brand new gate, which apparently it worked out very well because it gave me almost like a scope. It let me back right into my 5th wheel hitch in a one shot. So I'm pleased that I had to replace it. So be prepared for a lot of repairs and just take it in stride. It's going to happen. Like I said, that was the first breakdown. The second breakdown, I lost at a gas station, I lost my alternator. No battery juice. what are you going to do? And again, the third time was the wheel on the trailer. That ran $320 to have somebody come out, because apparently Route 80 is protected areas for auto repair shops, so you just can't call Good Sam up and say come out and fix it. You got to hire their guy that has that mile under contract, so that got quite expensive. So enjoy, take the good with the bad, be prepared for the worst, keep some tools with you, and like I said, we're on our way to Amish country, which I haven't been to in about 30 years, and we're going to see Steve Turtle down there and his wife, and I'm sorry I don't know her name, and talk about some videos that we're going to be doing and that he's doing. He's doing a lot of good video work on gate guarding, and now he's apparently spending the summer down the Amish country. This is used for outdoor staycations. Ring the bell, like, subscribe, and safe journeys.